welcome to this wonderful Wednesday here on Around the Block. We've definitely changed up the seating order today because Heather is driving the show.
That's right. That's right. Prepare
Yes.
for a ride of a lifetime.
No, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So I
We'll
don't know
see
about
that.
you, Heather, but today was my kid's first day back to school. Ugh, it was a fun one.
Oh, really? How did he do?
You know, he did fantastic. I did not do fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
It's harder for you.
Yes. I mean, yeah, I definitely in the car, a little tear
mama
after
tear.
he hopped out of the car. But that is the way it goes.
Yeah, 5th grade.
Yeah.
Big day for Max.
Yeah, and happy Wednesday to everyone. We are halfway through the week and almost to Friday. Yes. Okay,
D'Anthony, are you excited? You haven't said a single word.
Yes.
I'm just, this is weird for me.
Why?
Because he's usually over here.
I know. Are you sad you're not in control? Does this make you nervous?
No, I'm very happy.
Okay.
I don't have to stress out. I'm like, oh, levels, time, the little ticker videos. I'm just vibing.
Yeah, now I'm the one that gets to worry about all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm better at talking than maneuvering, so we shall see. But we all are training on how to run this in case the world ends and Jacqueline and D'Anthony don't show up for work one day and I got to do everything all by myself. That's why we're doing this.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you guys take over and I'll pop in as necessary. But you guys have fun talking.
Fantastic. So it looks like Oklahoma City police have a bit of a foot chase going on here. This all started when Bobby Joe Wobble was stopped for riding a motorcycle without a license plate. During the search, the deputy found Wobble was carrying somebody else's wallet. After being questioned about this mystery wallet, because it said he had a female's wallet, and this gentleman does not look like a female, he split, and so the police were after him. Wobble is now facing a list of charges, including obstructing an officer. D'Anthony, is this something that you would approve? Don't you think this is a bit ridiculous?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think was going to happen?
Wait. I don't know.
When people do stuff like this, I would love to be able to catch them just right after when they're riding in the cop car and just have 5 minutes to say, okay, now that you executed said plan, what did you think was going to happen? You act so surprised you're caught.
But I've seen this video earlier, and I love how the guy just like, oh yeah, hold my bike, I'll look for it, and then he just like drops the bike and then runs.
That's totally a little kid thing to do, because I remember just dumping my bike in that manner. Just all of it on the ground, not a motorcycle, obviously, but being a kid. And that was definitely a kid move on his part. But something tells me this may not be the first time he's been in trouble.
I just hope that officer was okay, because those bikes aren't.
They're so heavy, right? Yeah. Like people can get injured. But, you hear about people being injured by motorcycles dropping on them. So hopefully this had a better outcome.
But that's such a weird last name.
I know.
What? Wobble?
I hope I said it right.
I don't even know how to pronounce it.
For his 15 seconds of fame there. But I like this next story quite a bit because I'm big into gardening here in Oklahoma, as well as the botanicals and the butterflies and the hummingbirds that come with that. But there's new grant opportunities for Oklahoma gardeners in Oklahoma. They're really trying to cut down on pesticides and increase positive habitats for the pollinators, which would be, the butterfly that go around and the bumblebees that, yes, right here. And they're encouraging native plants. And the good thing about native plants is they're also quite drought tolerant, which is great in Oklahoma because sometimes we don't get a lot of rain. Right now we're getting a lot of rain, so I feel silly saying that. But in years past, historically, we do go through drought stretches, and so they are encouraging garden growing, and it's a first of its kind wildlife habitat grant here in Oklahoma. Has created more than 760,000 square feet of gardens, and so they are just wanting to keep this up. So currently, they have 33 projects were funded, and the only requirements were no chemicals could be used, and people must include a variety of native plants and seasonal wildlife. We are told the gardens are working well with bees, birds, and toads. And so this is pretty cool. Do you do any gardening, D'Anthony?
No, I mean over the pandemic I did.
You did? What
Hmm
type of gardens did you do in the pandemic?
I, honestly, I don't know. I had it was me and my mom's
Okay.
like little side project over
Yeah.
the pandemic. I I I was only in charge of putting the fence around the garden because
Okay.
my dogs they
Oh,
love
yeah.
flowers. So
And some of them really do, I think, have sense and smell, tastes that are quite exciting to dogs when they're used to that kibble. They probably like, because I know my dogs sometimes chew up something that I may have just put in the ground there.
mhm.
But this is really cool, and I love that these projects are being funded. And for more details on these grant opportunities, um, everyone should check out k4.com and scroll until you find the link to this story. Hey, Heather, I forgot to ask you, do you do any gardening?
I kind of do. My gardening these days is pulling grass and weeds.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
have planted as much as I can possibly plant in my gardens. I don't want them to look cluttered.
Right.
And so now it's just maintaining and then trying to remulch at least once a year. But I did the best thing ever for myself. My gardens, you know how grass takes over so quickly?
Yes.
My gardens were just full. I have 2 in the back and 2 in the front. And so my landscapers who mow for me, I asked them, I was like, can you please pull the weeds from my garden out, all the grass? And they did. I mean, and it took them 1 hour because they're pros. And they just, I watched how they did it. Cause you know, me, I'm on my hands and knees pulling. And then you have all the mulch indentations in your kneecaps. And what they did was they got a backhoe or a hoe, but then they just like chopped it like this. They chopped up the weeds and then pulled everything out. And I was like, huh, interesting. So I need to go buy a hoe. As funny as that sounds, I need to go buy a hoe.
That's not funny at all.
Or you could just pay them once a year to do.
You know, I think I might. It's worth it. I mean,
Yes.
it's $55, but that saved me like, I don't know, 6 hours. I mean, they did it in one, or there are many of them. So 6 hours of time for $55 is, when you're a single mom, a lot of time. It's worth the price.
That's a heck of a good deal, though.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
55 for an hour. Yeah.
So,
and so I might just do that.
But I do applaud you for keeping up with that landscaping, though, because that's a real chore.
Thank you. Yeah, and they even trimmed my trees and the bushes while they pulled everything out, and I didn't even ask for that. So it was a blessing.
Yes.
A wonderful $55 spent.
So this next story, I'm not a fan of this part of summer and gardening and all that comes with it. West Nile. We have West Nile back thanks to the mosquitoes. I don't know about you guys, but I constantly in the evening here in Oklahoma am getting nibbled by the mosquitoes. And West Nile is back in Oklahoma and on the rise. We had a wet summer, therefore lots of mosquitoes. The state health department is confirming 10 Oklahomans have contracted West Nile, and that's up from last week even. West Nile is not something to play around with. The county's highlighted in one of the slides that you will see coming up here. When we get back to it, I'll talk about it. But the blue areas on this map is showing where human infection has been identified, and the green shaded counties indicate the known presence, but no human infection. So West Nile is definitely coming up. You see there, blue, we have human infection. In the green, the virus is confirmed, but we've not had human infection. You know, treating for mosquitoes is something that I've thought about doing. Do either of you treat your yards for mosquitoes?
I treat my patio.
You do?
Yeah, because like back home, like we had this long backyard and there were like puddles. We have, I don't know what it is. It's like a hanging little canister.
Okay.
And it prevented like mosquitoes and all that. So I have that on my porch. Only thing is my cat likes to mess with it and like knocks it over. So occasionally I will get like a few mosquito bites and
Jerry's fault.
yeah. So Jerry, I don't like you, Jerry, right now.
You know what's weird is that I used to be eaten alive by mosquitoes all the time. Like I would come back in with 20 mosquito bites, and I'm not so much anymore. Like I'll still get, 3 or 4, but like I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm not as sweet as I used to be. Maybe it's in my older age I'm becoming mean.
Not as tasty.
And they can sense it and they're like, leave that chick alone.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to buy her. We might get that infected blood of hers.
I'm convinced it's the opposite because I used to not get bit by mosquitoes at all, and now all the time. Every time I go outside, nibble, nibble.
It has to do with carbon dioxide output. So however much carbon dioxide you emit, and it has to do with the sweetness in your smell. Some people say it has to do with your blood type. There are all these different theories. But the nasty part of it all to me is that these are parasites on our bodies, drinking our blood and spreading disease. Gross.
Yes. But if you can't treat your yards with a professional service or, those sort of remedies, they definitely recommend bug spray and stuff like you have on your back patio, those little catcher machines. But man, West Nile is back. I'm ready for one of those real cold fronts that comes in and just snaps all the bugs away.
Kill them all.
Kill them all.
Yes, evil.
If we could talk to someone in the weather center about making that happen for us, that would be great.
Did you say you do treat your yard?
I don't.
I don't either.
I don't. It seems expensive.
It is, but I also like my dog, singular, runs around out there, and I don't want her. Good Lord. I have one dog who's a girl.
It's the board.
But maybe she has
the
friends
board.
over. She has friends over.
Yeah, well, so she chases the back fence, and there are dogs that run up and down, and they just have a blast. I don't want her carrying all that pesticide and everything inside the house, because then we have a kitten and we have a ferret, and it's like plus we have humans, and I just don't want all those toxins in the house. It's the same reason I don't have the inside of my house sprayed, and the very reason that we have spiders in our house. So I would love to have them treated, but I also don't want that poison in my house.
I know, it's a double-edged sword.
It really is.
So we have to take a break. We're going to take that break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some exciting training going on at the River Sport Rapids down on the Oklahoma River. Welcome back to Around the Block. I'm Jacqueline Ferris on this wonderful Wednesday with DeAnthony McChristian and Heather Holman. Welcome back, guys. How are you?
It's been it was a good night last night. Relaxing. I slept really well.
Yeah.
Love it when that happens because it hardly ever does. So it's nice to actually not be tired for a day out of the year.
Did you get rain at your house?
Yeah, yesterday. And I actually washed my car yesterday morning.
You did? That's why it rained, Heather.
I know. I needed my garden to get watered. I don't want to pay Edmund prices for water, so I washed my car. You're welcome, Oklahoma.
Thank you. DeAnthony, did it rain at your place?
Yeah, but it was like a really bad storm.
Really?
You had the downpour?
Yeah. I was walking my cat.
Okay. I want to know about this.
Yeah. My cat thinks it's a dog, and then my family dog thinks it's a cat. It's weird. Whatever pet I have, they think they're the opposite. But I was walking my cat, and then I was like, oh, that's a weird wall of fog. And I'm like, oh wait, no, that's rain.
Wall of fog.
Yeah, because I've never seen that back at where I was.
It's not. You were in Texas. It's not like you were.
Yeah, but there's like a bunch of trees. There's not like land where I can see far away, and it's not like flat. But I saw the rain coming in. It was like fast. Had to grab my cat and run, and he's like thinking it's a game, so he's like strapped onto me with his claws into my chest.
Oh my gosh, that's the worst. Yeah. That's so painful. They're these little tiny claws, but it's like, it's like having when you have a hangnail and it hurts so bad, but it's this little dinky hangnail. Anyway, because our kitten climbs us, and it's out of the blue. Like we'll just be doing something in the kitchen. She's like, "Oh, food!" Boing! And and she's like in there, dug in. So I totally get it, DeAnthony. Also, I really like your shirt.
Thank you.
You're Mr. Fashionista. Fashionisto.
He's looking
would it
good
be?
Today.
Fashionista is the feminine version, so fashionisto? I don't know.
I'll take that.
Is that silk?
I don't know.
Come here.
Is it?
I don't think it's silk.
No, I think it's a polyester blend that looks like silk.
Okay.
And it is smooth. I like it.
Looking
My
sharp
girlfriend's
today.
visiting me, so.
Yeah, dressed to the nines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so guys, this next story takes us to the Oklahoma River. River Sport is training first responders how to respond to swiftwater rescues. So, starting next week, the River Sport Swiftwater Conference and Championship Games is getting underway. This week-long, action-packed event will be taking place on the Oklahoma River. If you got, ooh, right there,
Sorry.
that is my worst nightmare, actually. So, I would not do good in this training at all. But this is for first responders, law enforcement, and those personnel to focus on swiftwater rescue techniques. I know in Oklahoma we've seen a lot of flooding in the past, and also down south in Texas. And our first responders have gone and always is there to help in those rescue situations. So they're going to do a week-long first responder swiftwater training here on the Oklahoma River. And the really cool part is that we can go as spectators and watch. I believe it's on next Friday. Yes, next Friday you can go out and watch the competition in action on the Oklahoma River, which I think would be a great little weekend event to get your weekend going as a family to go out to the Oklahoma River and watch these first responders get dunked is what it looks
Well,
like.
I'm not laughing at
I'm-
them getting dunked. I'm laughing at D'Anthony
I'm-
laughing at them getting dunked.
Because one of them looks like my dad.
Your dad,
Yeah, because my
your
dad,
poor dad is not out there doing this.
he used to work with the sheriff department, and he'd hate these like little trainings that he do in
Okay.
Dallas. Like, he would tell me stories, but he said like, oh, his friends took video of him like doing something like this,
Uh-huh.
but not like this is all fancy. They have,
Okay,
like,
so show us which one looks like your dad
Yeah,
when they're gonna
where's dad?
because
so
you
we can
also say
imagine.
your dad reminds you of Hank Hill from
So we got
King of the
Hank Hill, who's
Okay,
a
where
first
is he?
responder, is his father.
that first guy, left guy.
I think it's like different.
They all kind of look the
The
same.
one in glasses.
That one is your dad. Okay. Your poor dad.
I hope he's okay. But like my dad would talk about doing like these trainings that
Yeah.
like most police officers don't really do, and
Mhm.
he'd always complain about it. Go home.
That looks like my
I
worst
just imagine
nightmare.
him. Just imagine, because he's so clumsy. He's like, and it takes him forever to like fall, and it looked like it took them forever to.
I want to see it one more time, just because I get a kick out of D'Anthony's reaction
I know.
and the fact that. So he also look like your dad?
A little bit like with glasses and
Okay.
a little
Yeah.
So the guy on the
contacts.
left in the front with the
Uh-huh.
glasses on. This poor guy. He doesn't know
The
that we're
poor
showing
man,
this
this
over
first
and over.
responder is a professional first
Okay, not this
responder.
one. It's the next one. Here we go. Yes, we appreciate your service,
Yes.
sir. Okay.
Oh.
There he goes. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
But see, this is why we're doing the training, is so we can fall in
Exactly.
gracefully, and
Exactly.
then when they have to rescue us, it won't be comic hour.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just it reminded me of my dad, and I
But
know
your
my dad
poor
would.
dad always gets made fun of on this show every
He
time
makes
you're
fun of
on.
me. He makes fun of me all the time. Now that I'm an adult and I moved out, I can make fun of
Well,
him.
Mr. McChristian, my
Well-
message to you,
And your dad is
or whomever the head of the household is here, Anthony's dad. We love
Anthony.
Anthony's dad. We love you so much. And your poor mom. Let's not make fun of her today. Okay.
I don't think we've ever
Oh,
made fun of your mom.
No,
Only
Okay.
your stepdad. That because he
Okay.
is like king of the hill, and I think he sounds awesome. What did you say he does as first responder?
he worked in the sheriff's department.
Okay.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yes, and we appreciate that.
Yes,
we
we-
need all of our
We're big
law
fans of
enforcement.
first responders here.
Yes.
Okay, this next story is pretty cute. Pretty cute. An adorable bobcat family captures the hearts of this Colorado neighborhood where they totally come out to play. And as you can not see right here,
Ooh,
There
that's
would
like zoomed
be-
in.
yes, it reset itself. But normally, I had
Wow.
it saved. It was a much smaller accurately, and I haven't tested it. But in
I can fix
Colorado,
this.
there's this neighborhood where bobcats have come out and they've gotten a little too friendly, a little too frisky. And I totally believe this to be true because when I lived in southern Colorado, where did I live? I lived in Alamosa, and I also lived in South Fork for many years. And the bobcats were way too friendly there too. It was a common occurrence to see the bobcats come out. But man, the bobcat kittens is what got everyone clamoring in this neighborhood because they're Colorado, in this Lakewood neighborhood, these animals are just getting a little too friendly. Right there, the bear caught on the Ring camera. But here we have the bobcat family that comes out each day, and I would almost bet that this is in the evening or early morning, because that's when these animals tend to come out the most. And they are just enjoying themselves. My time in Colorado, we regularly had animals come up on our porch, our deck, and you could hear it in the house. And I was in my 20s and living by myself. And I'll tell you what, it was very scary. I did not like the sound of the hoofs on the deck in the middle of the night. The nature was frightening. But in Colorado, you can see the nature. If you are a nature person, you can go and see these adorable creatures.
It makes you want to, pardon me, it makes you want to hold those little ones because they're so cute.
I know. Look at this one with a little smile at the
I
end.
know. He's like, oh, I'm chasing a feather. It's so fun. It's so cute. And he's wagging his little tail, and his giant paws mean he's going to be huge.
What?
So,
Anthony,
No,
what?
wait, I just saw like with that campfire where that bear's like approaching. I think someone's sitting in the chair.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. And so a lot of the problem is, though, because these animals, their natural habitat, these neighborhoods are growing and growing because people are moving to different areas and developing homes. The critters are losing their natural habitat and now are coming out to explore for food, and they're getting so friendly. And look at, you're totally right. There was a little boy in that chair, not even a man. It was
Gosh,
like
I thought it was
a preteen-sized child.
Well, they've had 3,000 public bear sightings this season alone there in Colorado. So they're coming into the urban areas to search for food. And even these bobcats doing the same thing. Family, there's a mama with her 4 babies. But they're having a blast getting to watch them grow up. I don't know how fun it'll be once they are all grown up, though.
I know.
They eat pets that are outside, but among other things.
Colorado Parks and Wildlife is definitely encouraging people to not pet, do not feed, do not try and get close to these animals. We are just pointing out that coincidentally it's really cute, but they do not want you playing with these. They are not pets, right?
Nope.
They got
their claws are way too sharp, and they have wild instincts, and they've got sharp teeth on top of that.
They totally do.
No, thank you.
So when we come back, we are going to talk about radioactive shrimp that are being recalled via Walmart when we come back. Welcome back to Around the Block. I'm Jacqueline Ferris with D'Anthony McChristian and Heather Holman running the board today. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great day and enjoyed the rain we had last night. D'Anthony, we have a recall. Why no? I loved the rain last night.
You weren't where I was.
It was scary for me. It was scary, but back it up. I wasn't walking my cat. I'm assuming on a leash. Is this what the cat was on a leash?
Yes, but here's the thing. See, I'm from Dallas, Texas, where we don't y'all thunderstorms. Y'all make it sound like it's normal. It's not normal back where I'm from. It's like there's a very loud boom, and one of my new friends at the apartment goes like, "Oh, what? That was just lightning and thunder." I'm like, "Dude, that was like an explosion. What are you talking about?"
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plains and the waving wheat is really fast from all the storms or something.
This is like Australia of weather. It's just so extreme, and y'all are just used to it. I love it.
I love the wild Oklahoma weather. It's one of its A+ moments is the weather last night for me. But this next story is not an A+, and it's kind of sci-fi almost, if you think about it. Walmart is recalling frozen shrimp sold at Walmart stores across the country, including Oklahoma. The FDA issues a warning saying the seafood may have been contaminated with unsafe levels of radiation, and if consumed, could lead to an elevated risk of cancer. My thought is just chuck it if you are at all concerned. If you recently purchased one of the impacted lots of great value frozen shrimp, absolutely throw it away. That's Walmart's encouragement is to toss it. The Great Value brand frozen shrimp with lot codes 8005540-1 and 8005538-1 as well as 800-5539-1, all with Best By dates of March 15th, 2027. Let's just throw those away because we don't want any radioactive shrimp. No.
Well, first off,
Spooky.
2027. That's the expiration date.
But it's frozen, I'm assuming.
Oh,
So,
well, I don't know. I don't eat shrimp, so this isn't.
Yeah.
How do they know it's radioactive? That's what
I want, is the beginning of the story. How did we find out that it was radioactive?
And how many people bought it before they discovered?
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? I cannot. What a PR deal this is. But the shrimp was sold in Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Missouri, Mississippi, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Texas, and West Virginia. So, D'Anthony, let your folks know.
They
Don't
probably
eat the
already
shrimp.
ate it.
Well, maybe your dad has radioactive skills now.
Oh, he doesn't like shrimp.
Okay.
I think it's everyone else. Yeah, so my dad's probably gonna be laughing in the hospital.
Well, hopefully not. But consumers should discard the products or return them to any Walmart store for a full refund. But definitely make sure you do not have this shrimp in your freezer. It is a no-go. No-go. Heather, do you eat shrimp? Do you like shrimp? Because D'Anthony squished his nose at it. Do you like seafood?
I do. And in fact, I think I have this very shrimp in my freezer.
You do not?
I took a picture. Yeah. It is great value and it's raw frozen shrimp. So I took a picture of the lot numbers, which you can find on our website and kf4.com. And then so I need to go home and compare them, but I'll go ahead and give you the lot numbers now. If you're asking, write this down.
Yes, write these down.
800-5540-1, 800-5538-1, and 800-5539-1, all with Best By dates of March 15th, 2027. So that's what I took a picture of, and that's what I need to go home and check my freezer for. And I'm not just going to throw them away. I'm going to return them because they're expensive when you buy, we buy the colossal size, and I always buy 2 bags of those. And so they're a great source of protein. Typically, I had no clue that there could be any radioactive material whatsoever in these shrimp. Therefore, I will be switching brands from now on and going as naturally as possible, wild caught and so forth. There's so many things you have to pay attention to. And also on top of that, if they come from Thailand, a lot of times they will have rat feces in them. So I also try to avoid those that are sold from Thailand. You're welcome. We learn something new every day. So that was, that's been a few years now. I'm not sure if they've corrected that, but just it's so iffy when it comes to seafood to make sure that you get the healthiest version. I didn't even know that they at all scanned these it's the weirdest thing. And that it can increase your risk of cancer if you actually eat them. I mean, and then so the other day, my daughter bought a whole bunch of ramen. She loves ramen noodles. And this was at the Daiso place where they sell different, Asian things, Japanese things, and Daiso store is what it's called. Anyway, so she bought a 6-pack of ramen noodles, and on the side it said, "This may expose you to lead."
Oh, really?
And we were like, what? How does that not, that's not a U.S. regulation.
Yeah.
So it was made overseas. I'm surprised they could bring it in even like that. But different Mexican candies from Mexico, those have lead in the artificial colors and so forth. So some of them, not all of them. So it's just you have to be so careful when it comes to our food supply. And while organic things are more expensive, I mean, truthfully, if I had all the money in the world, everything I bought would be organic because you wouldn't have the pesticides, insecticides, everything that they're on there. At the same time, too, you have to worry about there are parasites in any kind of meat that you buy. There could be parasites as well. So whether that be salmon, just the other day I saw some salmon fillets. This was a reel on Instagram, I believe. And the girl was showing the salmon fillet raw with these white worms. And these white worms were just very slowly, they look like a tapeworm, super skinny. So it's like, you burn that thing with fire. You put it in the oven and you char it, and then maybe you can eat it. But I mean, I wouldn't want to eat anything like that. I wish I had almost like an X-ray machine at home where you could scan things on a conveyor belt through the X-ray machine. And see or under a microscope and see what we're actually consuming.
I know.
It's scary stuff, really.
And
But we're all alive.
We're
here.
all fine.
Yes,
we're all fine.
We're all fine.
But on that note, if you have any of this questionable shrimp, just go ahead and throw it away.
No, I'm gonna return it.
Just throw it or return it.
So I can get $30 back.
Oh, goodness.
Otherwise, it's like throwing away $30. Yeah, when you buy 2 bags of the colossal size, it gets expensive. But typically, it's a healthy source of protein, and that's why I do it. And we do love shrimp at our house, so it'll last a couple days. So it's like spending $15 per meal for me and my 2 kids. That's $5 each. That's nothing.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, when you consider it that it's shrimp and that it's cooking at home. It's way less than what you'd pay in a restaurant. I'll put it that way.
Okay, so this next story is not way less. It's they're quite expensive. Fake Labubu dolls are causing choking hazards on top of being imposters. These famous dolls that you cannot see in this photo was so wonderfully saved when I ran through them earlier. But there are these Labubu dolls. Do you know about these, D'Anthony? Do you know about these, Heather?
Yeah, we had one on the show recently. Carrie King brought her sister's Labubu doll.
Oh,
yeah.
You've seen one in the flesh.
My daughter has one too. It was given to her. I would not buy one. It was given to her. They are expensive for what they are.
They're very expensive, and they're all the craze. But people need to be careful and make sure you are not buying.
I'm going to fix this while you guys are talking.
One. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says knockoff Labubu dolls are posing a choking hazard to children. The small toys, and a lot of them are about the size of, do you remember those old troll dolls that used to be the big cool deal back in a long time ago? Like the 70s,
yeah, you'd brush their hair back and then...
Dolls are causing choking hazards when you buy the counterfeit ones. And the Consumer Protection Agency really wants people to watch out because counterfeit products are not great to begin with. And now they are causing choking hazards for small children because they're definitely being popularized in the younger age demographic. I saw them this morning definitely on all the girls' backpacks at Carpool, hopping out of their cars with these little trinketries.
Did you talk about the fake ones yet and what they're called?
You tell us the name.
La Fufu.
La Fufu.
So the real ones are the Labubu.
Yes.
The fake ones are the La Fufu. Look at that one's wearing a Gucci outfit.
I know,
Holy cow. That's going to be a really expensive one. Yeah, these can range up to $350, I hear, based on the size and so forth. And that's usually what the celebrities will buy, the more expensive ones. But you can see they're strapped on to a Louis Vuitton purse. So, and the thing that gets me is that these are so like temporary. You know what I mean? Everything goes in style and out of style. And it's like, someday they'll be like, do you remember when we used to collect Labubus? Oh my God. Like, just like Beanie Babies, you know?
Oh my gosh, but cost way more.
Oh yeah, way, way, way more. But these are going to be, I don't know if they'll ever be a collector's item because things like Precious Moments and what are they called? Hummels? Yeah, the little German people dolls, figurines.
I don't know about those, but I believe you.
They used to be super expensive, but nowadays you can't give them away. They're at every single antique store. I have some Precious Moments dolls in my attic that, I mean, I guess I'll just pass down to my grandkids someday because it's like I'm going to get maybe $3 for each one, if that. And so these are what I have are the more unique ones, and I still don't think those would even sell. So back in the 90s, I paid $25 to $50 each for these dolls. They're from foreign countries. They're Precious Moments dolls because I used to live overseas.
Okay.
And so I had that collection of international dolls. Well, now it's like no one wants Precious Moments.
Is there a reason?
Just because they're so common.
No offense.
They're so common. They're everywhere. So then it made it not fun to collect because you could find them everywhere, in my opinion.
Yes.
So
I gotta look it up.
So they have the little teardrop eyes. They're actually really cute, but they were popular when I was a kid. And
what I think is popular is people are buying them and repainting them into other things,
scary
which
things.
Is awesome. They look so cool. I would totally
I know what
do
you're
this.
talking about.
It now makes me want to go to the Goodwill and find a Precious Moment and just do like a Halloween scene or something.
Yes, I know what you're talking about, and they're actually really funny. They started off as like a biblical thing, a Christian thing, and they still are.
They still are.
But then people are turning them into like Halloween creatures and things like that, dark blackening their eyes and all of that.
Oh, there's even a museum dedicated to them in Missouri, I believe.
Oh yeah, I've been there. I've been there. I went there in high school back when I collected them. So I don't know if it's still open. Okay. They had like pretty much everything you could imagine as far as a gift shop is concerned. Like any if you're going through hopelessness or you need love or whatever, they would have hope, love, faith, all those different things, and different dolls. And my boyfriend in high school, his name was Josh, and they had a matching doll set named Heather and Josh. So we got that, and I was like, "See, it's meant to be."
It's meant.
Yeah, it wasn't. All because of some Precious Moments dolls.
Yeah. Well, we are going to take a break right now, but when we come back, we are going to talk about Ulta and Target splitting partnerships when we come back. Welcome back to Around the Block. I'm Jacqueline Ferris with D'Anthony McChristian and Heather Holman this wonderful Wednesday. Okay, we were just talking about it at break, this next story that was making me feel really old, and I feel like I'll be hearing these words when I pick my kid up from school, from his first day of middle school. But, well, he won't be saying the second one. But Skibbity, Tradwife, and Delulu have been added to the Cambridge Dictionary. I don't even know. This is just ridiculous. But this just goes to show the evolution of the human language. We've added the words Skibbity, Tradwife, and Delulu to the Cambridge Dictionary, along with 6,000 other new words that are slang. I would consider these slang words. What do you think, Heather? Do you consider these like slang or?
Oh yeah, like the thing is they're behind. Like Skibbity toilet used to be a thing. D'Anthony's so proud of me for knowing what that means.
Yes.
Skibbity toilet. Yes.
What is Skibbity toilet?
Okay, first of all, D'Anthony came up with this idea so he could hear Jacqueline and myself say Skibbity, Tradwife, and Delulu.
Yeah. So we.
I've heard Delulu before. Delusional is Delulu. Skibbity means like cool or bad. Well, now the word skibbity is skibbity because kids aren't saying skibbity anymore.
Yeah, it's just a word. It's just a funny word to say.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Tradwife though, Jacqueline, explain that one.
Oh, this would be someone that is wifing, and they really prefer to be traditional in their roles of being a wife, and so they are subscribing to that sort of lifestyle.
I'm not familiar
that's
with
really
this.
just leaning in on those suggested gender roles of cooking and cleaning and caregiving. And so that word has been added along with Delulu, which is short for delusional. I'm sure I'll hear that one. And I feel like I've heard Skibbity. I just really didn't know what it was until now. So they have been added to the Cambridge Dictionary, and we've lost D'Anthony here.
So, D'Anthony, have all your dreams come true with us talking and saying Skibbity and Delulu, even Skibbity toilet. And
sorry. I didn't know you knew that.
Yeah, because I guess my daughter was 12 at the time. She's almost about to be 15. When that was a thing, and it's like all the words that these are just a few of the words, like
just a few of the 6,000.
Yeah, like no cap. And I don't think they say that anymore either. But like for a while there, it was like a whole different language, and I'm not even going to tell you what gyat means, but D'Anthony knows.
I do not, but now that I'm a middle schooler, I guess I should
Yeah, it's
hunker
just
down for some new language.
yeah, and it's so many different words. D'Anthony, what else? What are some other ones?
Yeah, D'Anthony.
No cap.
Well, cap it just means you're lying. Just that's cap.
Yeah, no cap
Okay.
means truth.
Okay. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Like I got an A on my test, no cap. Yeah.
I don't think no one said it.
But that's what it means. And so like what are some I'm trying to think. Like I have this whole repertoire of crazy middle school words.
Okay.
But these were like maybe 2 years ago. And I think Cambridge Dictionary is just now catching up.
Well,
I don't know why.
But
so am I.
The tradwife thing, I've never heard that.
I haven't either.
Oh, I've totally heard about this one. It's quite popular on the Instagram reels.
Really?
Yes, all those ladies that are showing their homemaking and bread making and antique kitchen cooking.
Okay, I like that kind of stuff, but I am definitely not a trad wife in the sense of I will cook. No, I will cook when I want to, and you're going to help me. Like you're going to join in.
You'd be very good at that job, Heather.
That sounds like a Andrew Tate slang.
Ooh.
Who's Andrew Tate?
I'll get into that later.
Okay. But this next story is kind of a bummer for those cosmetic gals and guys. Target, store I love, and Ulta mutually agreed to not renew a partnership that they launched in 2021. And, I've been served this partnership last week when I was doing my online Target order, searching for mascara. It showed that Ulta was a part of cosmetics that were also at Ulta via my Target delivery, but that is no more. Target and Ulta Beauty are parting ways, ending their partnership that created an in-store shops and allowed people to get beauty cosmetics that weren't normally at Target stores. But according to a joint release issued last week, the company said they've mutually agreed not to renew their pact and will be ending that August 2026. So I guess really have like a year. But in 1 year, you will no longer be able to get those Ulta cosmetics at Target. Until then, Ulta Beauty Experience Target will continue at Target stores and Target.com. But Ulta currently has 600 of these partnerships and roughly 1,900 in 1,900 stores according to Target. But that will be no more. No more.
I have a question about this.
Okay, ask.
With Target and Ulta. Like, I'm not too familiar with it. All I know is my girlfriend loves Ulta.
Yeah.
But, like, she would just go to the actual Ulta store. And are there, like, certain items in the Target Ulta that the other Ultas don't
What they're
have?
doing is trying to make it a one-stop shop. Because I assume they're thinking the people going to Target may also need to go to Ulta, and if they can do both shopping experiences in one location or from one online store, success. But now they've decided to split those partnerships, and now you will not be able to buy the Ulta products via a Target location. Yeah. They were trying to simplify that cosmetic shopping, but that is no more. No more.
Every time I go to Target, it's usually empty, so I don't know if that's
I dread going to Target. I dread that. Going inside? Big fan of the delivery. Thank you, COVID, for bringing us that.
I think that I dread going inside because I go in for one thing and come out with 100.
Yes, and then I get, that's what I do. I have to have a list or else it's a big fat.
Yeah, and I'm like,
dumpster fire.
I have to have that, and I have to have that, and I have to have that. I think there's a reason that their logo is a target because it's sucker? Like, I'm the bullseye. Like, okay, I'm in. It's almost like a Cupid's arrow thing. And must have. They got such cute stuff there.
Yes.
Even their clothes, everything. Clothes, cosmetics, home decor. So I have a love-hate relationship with Target. I love it, but then I spend way too much money there.
Yes. Okay, so this next story, fashion story, is pretty cool. Men are wearing wedding cloaks. Have you seen this, D'Anthony? I actually could see you totally pulling this off. Like, I could see you pulling off this style, and it would look great. I really enjoy this look.
I don't see myself at a wedding wearing a cloak.
Oh, I think you could pull this fashion.
It looks like Batman. Oh, that's why it's so cool to me. It just...
I think it's very elegant, but men are starting to wear wedding cloaks because they want to look as great as their bride. They don't want just a plain suit. They want to make a statement in this moment. It's a big day. But this is a viral sensation on TikTok showing Philadelphia Eagles tight end Kylan Granson wearing a white cloak at his wedding, and it has absolutely taken the internet by storm. He was showing his self-expression and just, really stepping out here, and I think it's awesome. The clip posted by his bride, Daisy Granson, has racked over 5 million views since they posted it, which is absolutely incredible. What do you think about it, D'Anthony?
I love it.
Now that you've seen this, what are we thinking? Like, he's looking. I think it looks great.
But if I had like a black
Yeah, that's what I would
cloak,
do too.
if I was getting married and I had a cloak, my wife at that moment would probably get mad because I have like a little mask. Just I'd be Batman. I'm sorry, this is so cool.
It is so cool.
All I think is Batman or Darth Vader.
What do you think?
Not a fan.
What? You really don't like it?
Don't like him.
Are you more just like, we're going to do the traditional thing? We're not stepping out in that moment?
I mean, I feel like, I don't know.
Okay.
I just think it's very like, and maybe this is old school, but the bride is the one that gets all the attention, and maybe the men don't like that. But like, that's just, I am traditional in that sense. I like, but look at his suit there. Suit's super nice. It's very handsome.
I love this, but I see what you're saying.
I don't like the cloak. I love his suit though. I just feel like it's almost like superhero-y. Like, give me my cape. And that's why you like it, D'Anthony.
I don't know. I just like it because I think he just looks sharp. I think he looks sharp, and
I think he looks like a wizard. Like he's going to like cast a spell or something.
Well, maybe he is. Maybe.
I don't speak for all men, but I know there's like most of us guys, like we want that one moment where we feel like a superhero or something. We just want. I think that was an appropriate. That's just me. I don't know. I don't know how weddings are traditionally run or how they do, but this is really cool, and I'm all for it.
So 2 of 3 of us support this wedding cloak fashion trend.
Yeah, I'm out.
Heather is out.
I don't care.
Would you turn
around? If you guys don't like me because I don't like it, I don't care. I just don't like it. I think it's, I mean, not you two. I'm talking about the world watching. I do care if you guys like me. But that's not my thing. If my husband showed up in a cloak, I'd be like, yeah, the attention's supposed to be on me. Take that off.
What if it was that'd be a bad surprise though, right on the wedding day.
I know. I'd be like, oh, you're super groom? Like, who are you? Are you the Wizard of Oz? Like, I feel like it's a white version. You almost look like God also.
Almost.
Yeah, like,
almost.
So I feel like God could get away with that. I don't know. It's different. And maybe that's what it is because I have a hard time with change. So maybe that's what that is.
Okay.
Maybe if it was black, you'd like it?
See, that's what I would do completely.
I think then you'd look like a vampire. So you can't win with me. Sorry.
We can't sway
her.
her.
I think it's not going to be have the groom in white. I don't know, because isn't like the bride's supposed to be in white? Like she's the only one that's supposed to be in white?
No, I think a man can be in white.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think that's fine. And I actually think it's very handsome. Like, to be all white too. Like the bride, I think that's great. But I think that if you were to have a black cloak, I'd be like, are you here to suck my blood? Like a vampire type thing. I wouldn't see it as a Batman type thing. There's always Halloween for that, though, if you want to dress up.
Yeah, but everyone else is dressing up. Just like that's my wedding day, too.
Do you think your wife would be okay with you dressing up as Batman for your wedding? She won't.
No.
Not unless she was Batgirl. Then you're onto something.
Some people really are into themed wedding, though.
Yeah, if they both are in it.
Yeah.
But you can't just one person dress up.
No.
That is a conversation.
Are you write that down? Write this conversation topic down. Do you approve of cloaks? Yes. Jot that down.
So we had a family, our whole family dressed up for a different character of Wizard of Oz. My dad was the Yellow Brick Road. My mom was Glinda. I was the Scarecrow, female version. And then Everly was Dorothy, and Briar, I'm trying to remember. Oh, the Wicked Witch. And so I think it's cute when you're all in it. But if you show up to your wedding in a in Batman attire, I think you're going to have a little talking to by your bride.
What do you think about the weddings where they ask everyone to be in theme?
I like that. I think that's fun. I mean, you don't have to dress up, but if they ask you to, I think that's kind of fun.
I do too.
Yeah.
So let's get to bizarre holidays. Today's bizarre holidays. International Hawaiian Pizza Day. Do you guys like that? Hawaiian pizza?
No.
No. National Bacon Lovers Day. Yes, we love bacon, right?
Yes.
National Chocolate Pecan Pie Day. Big fan, right?
That's
yes?
good stuff.
Yes.
I like pecan.
National Radio Day. Yes, we love broadcast.
Yes.
World Mosquito Day? Absolutely not.
I'm all
I
for
cannot.
it.
What?
I'm all for it. Yeah.
Why are you all for mosquitoes having their own day? We just talked about how we do
'Cause
not like
they're
them.
like cute little bugs.
Oh my gosh.
What's
They
not to
are
like
not
about?
cute little bugs.
That spread disease.
We are not. No. Okay. We'll talk about that later, D'Anthony. But I think we had a great show, everyone. Yes. Are we ready for the new news coming up?
We are ready for
Let's
the new
go
news.
to the new news and be sure to join us tomorrow on Around the Block.
We'll be back at 11 tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.